Each one has got their own desire. Of course, it may be enlightenment or the energy or the experience to have the same experience again. You see, you had some glimpse, some change, transformation in your life to have little more transformation or some desire. Desire, that is what makes you work. That is what makes you do things. We are going to work on that subject, desire. That is what makes this mental body alive. Of course, we have a very wrong concept about desire. The very word desire you condemn. Because you are taught from the very young age that you should control your desires. You should suppress your desires. Can you be alive without desires? You can't even breathe without desire. You know, the very breathing happens only with desire. You can't even breathe without desire. Only thing, there are two things. The unconscious desire and conscious desire. The unconscious desire means never it gets fulfilled and it always just erupts in your mind. Neither you know the way to fulfill it, nor it guides you to fulfill itself. It is there, but it cannot guide you to fulfill that desire. It never gets fulfilled. But the conscious desires, it just helps you to fulfill itself. By fulfilling that desire, you feel the fulfillment. Conscious desire means the desire, by its own power, it shows you the way to fulfill it. It gives you the clear map to reach it. When you reach that desire also gets fulfilled and you also get fulfilled. Unconscious desire, you do not even know the way in which you have to proceed towards the desire. And not only that, because that is not getting fulfilled, it never allows you to feel the fulfillment. These are the two layers of desires. If your desires are brought from unconscious to consciousness, from unconscious to consciousness, when they are brought, they are just flooded with energy. So two things happen. They get fulfilled. They show themselves. They show the way to fulfill. You fulfill it. Or they just disappear. If they can't be fulfilled, they just disappear. They are not hanging in your mind like a hangover. They don't just stay in your mind and disturb your life. All of you understand? Because it's a very simple concept. Of course. Any other question on this concept? And I will answer.
Swami, what is an unconscious desire? What?
The quality of the unconscious desire is you yourself not aware that you want it. See, conscious desire means what you want to have in your life. Unconscious desire means just because somebody else is having, you want to have that. You see he is having, then immediately you think, oh, let me have that also. Let me have that, it will be so nice. Then it is just unconscious. You do not know the way to reach it. It never gets fulfilled, but it is there just as a hangover. That is the thing which is called unconscious desire. Desire which comes by seeing others' life, not as your own, not as your own desire.
Can you expand on sealing on desires? Sealing on desire. You said we suppress our desires, but you can have a sealing on the desires. That's what.
One thing, even the sealing is suppression. Even the sealing is suppression. So these desires, they should never, no desire should be suppressed. You should bring the desire to a light of consciousness. So the light of consciousness, either it will fulfill it or dissolve it. Whenever you are aware, conscious, you never get foolish desires. Do you get the desire to fly? You never. You know, either you can fly by aircrafts or through some flight or the way, or you have to forget that desire. So whenever it is brought to the consciousness, whenever it comes to the conscious level, you will see just they disappear. Now, we will bring the desires to the conscious level. Of course, this technique I am explaining to you logically. Next session onwards, you will be given only the technique and you will see the result. No logical explanation. Because whenever you get the logical explanation, your mind starts working before the technique works. In Tamil, there is a proverb. Adrishtam railla varadhu mudi daradara dandila vandirukku. The fortune is coming by train, but the unfortunate is coming already by the telegram. Mind is actually, logic is unfortunate. Before the fortune of energy reaches you by train, the unfortune of the mind reaches you by the telegram. So I don't want you to reach the, I don't want any mind to reach before the energy reaches you. So next session onwards, you will be directly given the technique, you will continue to practice, then you will see the result. I don't want you to have a prejudice or the pre-understanding about the technique, about the layers. Then you will start having your own concepts. Now let us do a small, very simple thing. You will just sit and write your major desires of your life in your notebook. Sure, nobody else is going to read. Only you are going to have, only you are going to read, only you are going to possess it. Nobody else is going to see, nobody else is going to touch. But two things, mind always says, oh, I know all my desires, why should I write? That's one thing. I know in a vague way, but I do not know how to write, how to verbalize. These are the two things. These two things only keep your desire in the unconscious level. Please be very clear. Not verbalizing or not having enough of power, capacity, not having enough of light to throw on the desire. These two only keeps the desire in the unconscious level. So now you sit and you will have next half an hour. I wanted minimum half an hour because you have enough of things to write till half an hour. Can anybody say, I have no stuff to write for half an hour? You have enough of stuff. Start from your desires to have the wealth. Write the ultimate desire. What is the maximum level you have? Write one by one, clearly, point by point. Understand? Suddenly God appears in front of you and asks, tell me all your desires, I want to fulfill all your wishes. Don't think it's a joke, you may appear also, who knows? So none of you are ready to believe. So you are all very sure, huh? You see, if he appears and asks you, give your applications, let me fulfill all the desires. If you give this application, this notebook, he must be able to fulfill it. And once if he fulfills it, you must feel totally satisfied. So write in that way. Suddenly God may think very clearly, he may appear in front of you and ask. If you give this notebook, after that you should not feel, oh, I have not wrote that. I have missed that. I should have added at least one. Oh, no, not only the Benz. You see, Benz you will write. The attachment to the Benz. I wrote Benz, but I forgot that I should have added that sunglass or the sunscreen. Sunscreen and the moon screen. That attachment I have not added. You should not think all these things afterwards. Once you are given, over. Only one chance. Write in a detailed way with all minute details. Start with your wealth. You have 4 layers, just like a fear. If you've done ASP, you know the 4 layers of fear.
Notebook is not enough.
You will be supplied new notebooks. Don't worry. If you can write, you will be supplied lot of notebooks. You will have enough of notebooks. So, we will start. Don't bother what is going to happen by writing. Write sincerely.
4 layers.
4 layers of fear, just like layers of fear. Anybody remembers the layers of fear? Let us.
First one was fear of losing property, wealth, fame. Second one was fear of losing body part of being in an accident.
Wait. Now let us ask somebody else as third layer, fourth layer.
Family members.
Fear of losing family.
Then?
Family life.
Oh, there are many. Nice. The same way, you have 4 layers of desires also. The desire belongs to I, desire belongs to mind. Desire belongs to mind means the layer of wealth. Layer of wealth, money, or all the comforts. Desire belongs to mind. Next thing, the desire to have the respect, name and fame, or the social status, psychological. In the I and mind, you see, in the mind itself, physical, psychological. In the I, physical, psychological. 2 category, I and mind. In the mind, physical is comforts. Psychological is name and fame. The being a celebrity. Wherever you go, you just want to be a celebrity. You just want to push somehow your head front. These 2 layers. And then inside, in the I, the physical pleasure, sex, or the food, or the sound, music, or the smell, the 5 senses. The physical pleasure in the level of, in the eyes, physical senses. In the eye, psychologically, a strange thing, you will be, surprised to understand all your spiritual desire belongs to the psychological eye. Please be aware. Many of you have told me, I have come here to have a spiritual bliss. I have come here to have this, have that. All these things are also desires. All these things are also desires. So you will write 4 layers of desire. You can at least note down the 4 layers. Then you can, so that according to that you can title it and start writing. Desire for wealth. And status. Desire for name and fame. Being a celebrity. Third layer, desire of sex, the sexual fantasies. Fourth layer, desire of spirituality. In the eye level, psychological. Of course, you need this, write these 4 words, that is enough. You understand? Wealth, name and fame, sexual fantasies, then spiritual desires. So under this 4 title, almost all your major desires come, and give the fifth category, miscellaneous. Because your search will create anything. I cannot count. What are the weird things you create, only you know. Now you take your own time to write at least half an hour you will be given. Clearly verbalize. You see, God must be able to read. Your handwriting may be bad, that is not a problem. Once a man made an advertisement for his manager. You must be able to write French. Once you know to write French means naturally you know to read, to speak. That is what he thought and gave an advertisement. You must be able to write French. One man, our Moorg, applied for it. When the Moorg appeared for the interview, the man asked, "Oh, you know how to read, write, speak French?" Moorg said, No. You said, I must be able to know how to write. The man asked, "What? You say you must be able to, you know how to write, but you can't read. How can it be possible? You know how to write, but you can't read." The Moorg said, "Yes, I can only write, I can't read." It's strange. Finally, the man said, "All right, at least let me give you the test. You write." He started writing. Then what he wrote, this man could not understand. He called the Moorg. "What is this? What you have read? What you have written? Read it out." Then immediately Moorg said, "You see, already I told you. I can only write. I can't read." So, don't make like that writings. Write such a way that God can read without your help. Verbalize it very clearly. Verbalize it very clearly. See, if you are stuck, if you feel that you can't verbalize, be very clear. Your desires are playing fool of you. The desires which you are not able to verbalize, they are only called unconscious desires. When you verbalize itself, so many desires you yourself will feel shy. What all foolish things I am doing. But don't bother about it. Don't bother about it. Verbalize. You will see automatically the process will happen. You don't bother about what will happen. You just follow the technique. You just follow the method. So, start writing it. Write all maximum things you want. Don't write minimum, and once God takes away, you cannot give any supplement. So no supplements will be accepted. So write to the maximum. Whatever you want to have. And whatever wealth you want to have. Whatever name and fame status you want to have. Whatever sexual fantasies you have. Whatever way you want to fulfill it. And whatever spiritual desires you have. Whatever way you want to fulfill it. Write everything one by one.
It's only for ourselves. What if we want something for our husband or for our children? To write that
No. You see, one thing, even that is also your selfish thing only. Because he is your husband, you want for him. You see, if Suresh is not your husband, some other Ramesh is your husband, then you want for Ramesh. You understand? It is not for Suresh, your husband. So your husband. So naturally it comes under your category only. So write it your desire. It is your desire. Huh? Am I right? Huh? It is for your husband, not for Suresh. Poor guy, he was caught, so otherwise it is for somebody else. So right. Only unconscious desires are wrong. Unconscious desire means the desire which you yourself don't know, but which is in you, is wrong. But whatever desires you know is not wrong. Because when you know, naturally, either you will work for fulfilling it or you will drop it. It will leave you, it will disappear. In these two, naturally one thing will happen. So, if you feel some desires are there just hanging around, either you are not able to fulfill nor you are able to drop, it means be very clear, you yourself are not sure about the desire. You are not clear about the desire. That has not been brought to your consciousness. Now we will have one more meditation technique. First, the mental layer has got a sub-layer, I can say, pranic body, the Prana Shareera. So we will work on that Prana Shareera. Then we are going to work on the desire. Of course, this is something to do with your imagination. The meditation technique is deeply related to your imagination. To bring your imagination capacity to the peak, to bring your imagination capacity to the maximum, to bring your imagination capacity to its ultimate level, then you will understand imagination and the desire, how powerful, how energetic they are. They are just a driving force, life energy. Then this mental layer, which was a wound in your being, will become an energy to support you. See, if a building is standing in four pillar, suddenly one pillar is broken, some disturbance has happened. It is not only that pillar is not supporting that building, that pillar becomes a weight on that building. So whenever you get disconnected to one body, whenever you condemn one body, whenever you don't use one body, not only that becomes you are not using that body, that becomes a weight on you. That becomes a weight on you. If that pillar is again substituted or replaced by another one pillar, not only the weight will be, it will not be a weight, it will be support. So let us work on the mental body as deeply as possible so that it can become energy. It can support to hold the breath. Just fill your lungs and then hold the breath as long as possible. And then exhale through the mouth. And keep your lungs empty as long as possible. Understand? Inhale through the nose as deeply as possible, slowly as possible, and hold. Keep your lungs filled as long as possible. Then later on, exhale through your mouth as slowly as possible and keep your lungs empty as long as possible. This is one cycle. So start doing slowly but deeply. Inhale. Very deeply inhale. Fill your lungs. Fill little more, just little more. Little more. Hold on to it as long as possible. One more second. Just postpone one more second. One more second. When you feel you can't, you have to breathe out. Breathe out through the mouth. Exhale as deeply as possible, as slowly.
You have to open your mouth.
Yes. continue this cycle, but very slowly. Inhale as deeply as possible through nose. Hold. Inhale deeply through the nose, filling the lungs. Hold the breath for as long as possible. Then exhale gently through the mouth, keeping the lungs empty for as long as possible. Repeat this cycle. Inhale with full effort. Don't have shallow breathing. Inhale as deeply as possible and hold for as long as possible. Exhale only through mouth, gently, and keep your lungs empty as long as possible. Unless you put your whole effort, the pranic body will not open. So put your whole effort. Breathe through with whole body. When you breathe in, the whole body should move. When you breathe out, the whole body should move. Very gently, very deeply. Hold as long as possible. Breathe very slowly but deeply. Hold as far as possible. Exhale very slowly and again hold without taking the breath as far as possible. Stop the breathing and relax. Let your eyes be closed. Relax. Come to a normal breathing. Now, slowly, very slowly, visualize all your dreams, all your desires. Feel all your desires have fulfilled. Feel all your desires have come true. How you will be living. Imagine as deeply as possible. Visualize consciously the life after fulfillment of all the desires. Once you get all the wealth which you wanted, which you wrote in your book, how you will be living. Never condemn the desires. Never condemn the fulfillment. Just feel you have fulfilled. Live that ecstasy, live that joy. When you have fulfilled all your desires, how you will feel, how joyful you will be, how your life is going to be. Fulfill all your desires of wealth. Visualize very clearly. Somehow by the divine grace it has happened. Visualize very clearly. Once your wealth is achieved, how your life will be. Once the name and fame and the status is achieved, how your life will be. Once your sexual fantasies have become true, once your sexual desires are getting fulfilled, how you will feel. Once your spiritual desires are blessed, how you will be. Visualize all the desires. Feel that everything has become true. Imagine, visualize when it becomes reality, how you will be living. Consciously, totally put your effort and visualize in a detailed way. Don't avoid. Don't push again the desires to unconsciousness. Bring them up to consciousness and live. Live totally with all juice and life. When you start visualizing your desires, you will see automatically your energy gets concentrated on the third eye, on the brow chakra. Allow that to happen. Encourage your mind to get concentrated on the visual, on the third eye. live your desires, you bring life to it. Live it totally. You bring energy to it. Visualize and experience all your desires about status, all your desires of spirituality, all your desires of sex and pleasures, all your desires of food, all your desires of music, all your desires of wealth. consciously visualize how you will be living, how you will be moving around luxuriously when all your desires are fulfilled, how much you will be joyful, how you will be ecstatic. Let your eyes be closed, but stand up. Let your eyes be closed and stand up. At least give 1 feet gap between your both feet. Let your legs be widespread. Stop all the movements of thoughts. Whatever thoughts come up, just see them as a witness. Your thoughts, your breath, your mind, your body. Just leave your body at least for 1 feet and witness your whole body as a witness. Look at your whole body from little distance. Don't associate yourself with your body or the mind. Just witness. Witness the thought that you are witnessing. Witness everything. Let your hands be loose, relaxed. Witness. Watch your body from distance. Watch your mind from distance. Think yourself as a person sitting on the hillock and look from the hill. From the hill, if you watch the world, how it will look, just like that. Look at your body, look at your mind. Witness it. Relax. Slowly you can open your eyes and sit. Latihan. Latihan means when your mental body becomes empty, when your pranic body opens, your being becomes porous to the alive energy. You see, it is just because your desire for Amrita, you are not able to enjoy the cup of tea which you are having. Just because your desire for ash makes your wife, shows that your wife is very ugly. So when those things becomes, when the desires are disappear, when the desires become energy, I can't even say that desires disappear. When the desires become energy, you become porous. So whatever is available, you become porous to that. The surrounding, nature, the energy. So something happens to you, that is what is called latihan. It's the Pali term. You become more alive, and more sensitive, more ecstatic.
That I thought I wanted, now I don't feel that they are so important anymore.
The unconscious desires disappear. You see, you feel many of your wants are not just because the other is having. The other one is having. When you bring those things to consciousness, they will all just melt and disappear. And the energy which is invested on those desires, unconscious desires, will become a support to fulfill your conscious desires. You understand? Those energies will become a support to fulfill your conscious desires. Not only the unconscious desires disappear, they become a positive support for your conscious desires. It's like from other army, one person has escaped and come and joined in your army. Not only they lose one person, you gain one person. Then?
After the breathing, Swami, well, it was hard to keep track of the time, that interval of time. was like, I have no idea what was,
Mm.
I have no idea what happened.
To break that idea of time, only the whole meditation. That's right.
I always thought I had no desires. I mean, I always thought I was a simple person, but when I started writing, I knew that I'm having so many desires.
Actually, it was very easy for me to write all my desires because before you came into our life, I used to say my prayers in my puja room and I used to ask for all those desires. It was really easy. But when you came into our lives, I would do the meditation and I've not been asking for any of those.
That's nice. You will see that they will be getting fulfilled. Whenever you don't ask, the energy is flooded into it.
So every time you're supposed to observe yourself from like the hilltop.
No.
No.
This is the time.
Okay. So when we were doing that, I thought I saw my image also in different ways, like high school days or younger days. And is that?
That's perfectly alright. Actually, 7 years. Like that only the files will be kept in our mind, chitta. Chitta means the memory is stored, hard disk. 7 years. Like that only the files will be stored. You will see one form from every 7 years. 0 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 21, 21 to 28. Only that way the files will be stored. You will see the peak or in the 0 to 7, which was the moment you were in your peak. Maybe some of your birthday celebration, everybody was pampering you, you are enjoying. From 7 to 14, maybe the day you went to the school or the day you won the sports. The memorable moment, most memorable moment between 14 to 21, the most memorable moment. Some of your experience, some of your ecstatic experience, joyful experience, or even the guilt, even the deepest guilt, or even the deepest worry. Any one slide will come up whenever you witness. Perfectly all right.